Hey everyone, I've just upgraded my camera from the Canon EOS R up to the Canon EOS R6, and I want to share with you the top 10 things that I've immediately found that are better than the previous version. So let's check them out. Okay, in no particular order. The first one that I noticed is the on and the off switch. On this, the R6, it's so smooth. I don't know what they've done to it, but it's got a really nice click to it, really easy to turn on, and they've added a tab. They've added a tab which sticks out a bit, so you can actually find it really easily. On the EOS R, it looked like this. And you know, that was okay, there was nothing wrong with it, but it just wasn't as easy as this new version. So that's my number one of the 10 that we're gonna go through. Number two, so this is the RF 24-105. It's the RF version, and it has this, which is the stabilization switch. So what's really cool about this, and I didn't realize, is that the EOS R6 has IBIS, so it's in-body image stabilization. And just with this switch on here, you can switch the whole thing. So it has stabilization on the lens and it has stabilization in the body. You don't have to go into the body to change that, switch it on or off. You just switch it on the lens. So I thought that was really cool. It's a nice new feature, more for when you're taking photography or when you're running a gun in with the camera with a bit of video, kind of vlog style. Yeah, that is what I thought was the next best thing. Okay, number three. So this one is focus. So it has eye auto detection. You can, well, on the screen right here, over to the side, I can see that it's detecting my eye and it's focusing on my eye, it's tracking my eye. If I do the whole turn around thing, I guess I'm back in focus, but then I probably didn't go out of focus for you. But it's straight back on my eye in the camera, I can see that. So for me, I took a few shots. I went down to the skate park, took a couple of shots of skateboarding and doing some tricks, and it just didn't miss. Now I know with my R, it was just not fast enough to capture it all. I might get some, but the hit rate was so low that it made me not want to do it. With this, I was straight down there, banging the pictures out, and you know, really amazing focus every single time. I haven't had a problem with it yet. So that is my number 3 on the list of my best things about this camera so far. Number 4, speed. This thing is damn fast. From the moment you turn it on to the moment you can trigger and take pictures, and you know, the shutter speed, everything about this camera is so much faster than the R for me. You know, I can pick it up, point it somewhere, know it's going to focus, and just fire off. And you know, you can go 20 frames a second if you go using the electronic shutter, but either of the other two, the I think it's called first curtain and a mechanical shutter, they are just quick. You know, 10 frames a second I think it is, maybe even 12, but it's fast enough. And again, some of those photos that I took at the skate park, they were taken doing that. I love the sound of it as well, the camera sound. Here's a little clip of the sound of this camera when it's going through its paces. Number 5, depth of field button. So there's a new button. Actually, it looks like there's 2 new buttons on the front of the camera. There's one which is on the grip itself. It looks like a button, it's not a button. It's actually the IR remote control, if you've got one of those, which it doesn't come with, so I haven't got one of those. And number 2, there's a button just to this side of the lens on the camera body, and that's your depth of field button. So if you're taking a picture and you change your f-stop, so let's say you change it to f2.8, which this one is, so your background goes out of focus like that is, then this allows you to press the button and visualize what that's going to look like before you take the picture. So you can adjust it and press that button and see how it's going to look. Like that. Easy to get to, nice and big, works. Number 6, this one's great. So I always struggled with the app. There's a Canon app which allows you to connect your mobile phone to the camera, and it allows you, if you take a picture, to see the picture, the photo on your mobile phone. So that's fine, but it also allows you to trigger and things like that. But half the time I couldn't get it to connect. It just wouldn't. It uses Wi-Fi and it uses Bluetooth, typically on the Canon EOS R. And on this one it uses the same, but for whatever reason, the connection's 100% connected for me so fast once I've set it up. You know, and even when you turn it off, it's still connecting via Bluetooth, so it's ready to go as soon as you are. It's so much better. If you haven't tried it, you're going to see a big difference when you move to the R6. It also has some additional features in there which I found really useful, and if you wanted to take self-portraits or self-videos, you know, you could start, stop from a distance. Really simple. Really pleased with that. That's a good one. Number 7. So this one is to do with the battery. It's a brand new battery, but it's really not that much difference. So it has this little bit here, the shiny part on it. I don't think the standard R had that, if I can remember correctly. And it's called the E6NH is what it's called. So this is new battery. It's the same size as the R. I have some spares from the R as well, but this one, whoa, getting into focus, but this one works perfectly well. And it also seems to allow you to then, I think this is correct in saying, when you can go to the full fastest shutter speeds, so not shutter speeds, frames per second when you're taking pictures. So it allows you to get the full speed, full power out of this camera. So I'll put this one back on charge. Number 8, shutter noise. The EOS R is quite a noisy camera. You can go electronic on it, but it's okay, but I tend to not use that. I use mechanical. But whether you're using the silent shutter on this, the mechanical, or the first curtain, they are all quiet, really nice, really subtle, feels quality, feels fast. The whole thing is based around that. So here's a few examples of what those sound like. So this is the electronic shutter. This is the first curtain shutter. And I won't do the next one because it's absolutely silent. So yeah, so that's a big difference I found. So if you're doing photography in a wedding venue and you need to be discreet, this one, even though it's mechanical shutter, is really discreet. So that's another really good one that I've noticed between the R and the R6. Number 9. So on the back of the R, you have this, it's not a scroll wheel, it's I don't know how to describe it. It's a D-pad almost, so you can go up, down, left, right on it. It was okay. I didn't ever have a problem with it. It was quite handy because you can tell it to, you can lock a particular, like going to the menu, you can just have that as left or right or an up or a down. On this one you can't do that, but it's a scroll wheel which makes it really fast for going through the menu and going through your pictures. So I like that too. That's a nice addition. So on to the next one. And number 10. Finally, number 10, and this is all in a matter of hours pretty much of when I got the R6 over and above the R. It was just instant. These things just shouted out at me and thought, yeah, these are good. These are nice upgrades. I'm happy with this. So number 10 is on top of here right now. I have a microphone, an external microphone. It's plugged in via a mini jack into the side of the camera. And what used to happen on the R is when you flip out the screen, so the mini jack with its cable used to come out kind of at the bottom of the screen and then up. It used to cover half of the screen and you couldn't therefore see your audio, see whether you're peaking on your audio or whether your audio levels are correct or any other things on there actually. And you couldn't touch some of the things, it used to just get in the way. Now what they've done is they've moved that up to the top of the camera body so it doesn't anymore interfere with any of the image that I can see on the side screen of this camera right now. So that is a big bonus. I didn't think I'd be getting that one, but it's a really nice thing to have. So yep, that's my 10. There's one more bonus one for you, and there's also one negative, which I'm not sure whether it's just my camera or whether it's all R6s or even R5s as well. So number 11, my bonus one, is the speed of importing. So for photos particularly, because when you download all your photos that you've taken, and I take a lot of photographs for my wife's business, she's a florist, and here's some of the images from there. But when you download a whole load of those, and I guess it must be also prevalent when you're doing weddings or fast sports photography because you're taking a whole load of pictures, the big thing is the download speed. And I've got a pretty quick card and I've got a fast USB-C card to get it in, reader to get it into my computer. It's much faster with this. Now bear in mind it's 10 megapixels less than the R, so there's less information going across. Now I shoot in RAW or C-RAW, and obviously the files are fairly large anyway, certainly compared to JPEG. But again, it's another nice bonus, number 11, that I'm happy to have. Finally, my one negative, and that is this, and I'm not sure if this is just my version of the EOS R6 or whether it's normal, but I don't remember this on the R, and I don't think it's changed. So the viewfinder, so when you bring the camera up to your eye, although everything looks nicely in focus around the edges, so when you're looking at all of your shutter speeds, your battery info, all the information, all the text that's on the screen, it's nice and sharp, and you can, there's a focus wheel so you can actually adjust that on the camera. That's all nice and sharp, but when I'm actually going to take the picture and I'm taking stills, if I'm looking through the viewfinder and looking at what I'm photographing, in this case it might be the flowers, they seem slightly out of focus. So the center of the panel, the LCD panel that I'm looking at with my eye, it's soft, so I can't actually tell whether I'm fully in focus. The camera tells me I'm in focus because it comes up with the boxes around, the focus boxes, but I can't tell if I am or not just visually. Now, I don't think it's my eye. I didn't have this on the R, only this one, but it's something I might need to get checked out. Maybe you can comment below on that one, because if it's my one, then I'm going to need to get that sorted or returned for a replacement one. But it's a little bit annoying. But the actual final version of the images is fantastic. The images are so in focus, they're so sharp. Yeah, it's a given. So it's not a biggie. The camera works fine, but it's just something that I did notice. So that's it. That's my 11, and that's my one negative as well. I hope you enjoyed this. I can't wait to get this camera, really use it properly. Maybe I'll do a follow-up to this in a few months' time on my thoughts on it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, makes a big difference. I need to get up to that 1,000 if I can. I'm way off at the moment, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.